All right, so today we are going to be multiplying mixed numbers. And let's talk about our song from last time that goes, multiplying fractions ain't no problem. It's the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. So this song still still applies and helps us multiply those mixed numbers. But remember, a mixed number is a fraction that consists of a whole number plus a proper fraction. So 4 2/5 times 2 1/4. Now, notice our song doesn't say anything about having a whole number. It just talks about the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. But lucky for us, we know how to turn mixed numbers into an improper fraction where they just have a top and a bottom. And that good old strategy that we use to do that is called the Texas two-step. So all we have to do is there's just an extra step here. We have to use the Texas two-step to convert those mixed numbers to improper fractions before we can multiply like we know how to do. So let's start with 4 2/5. The Texas two-step tells me that 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 more is 22, and my denominator stays the same. And then I'm going to do the same thing to 2 1/4. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9, and my denominator stays the same. Now, I've got a Smith Super Secret Math Hack for you here. And that Smith Super Secret Math Hack is called cross simplifying. Okay? Because we always talk about how at the very end we have to simplify our fractions to get our final answer. But when we do the Texas two-step, we can end up with some pretty big numbers. So cross simplifying helps us reduce first to kind of make those numbers a little bit easier. So what I mean by cross simplifying is you look at the numerator and denominator that are across from each other. So for example, 22 and 4. They both have the number 2 in common, so I can divide them both by 2. So 22 divided by 2 would give me 11. 4 divided by 2 would give me 2. And then I can multiply. 11 times 9 gives me 99. 5 times 2 gives me 10. Now, I still have to simplify, and I might still have to even simplify once I turn it into a mixed number. This doesn't get rid of everything, but it just makes our numbers a little bit more friendly. So 10 goes into 99 9 times, and I have 9 pieces left over. So I get 9 9/10. Okay, let's do the same thing over here. Let's do our Texas two-step. So 3 times 3 gives me 9, plus 1 more gives me 10. My denominator stays the same. And then our Texas two-step once again. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 6 more is 62. Divide all over 8. Okay, I can cross simplify once again. 8 and 10 also have the number 2 in common. So 8 divided by 2 would give me 4. 10 divided by 2 would give me 5. So I have 62 times 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. That gives me 310 over 12. Okay, so I need to simplify. So I know that 12 can go into 31 2 times. That would give me 24. When I subtract 31 minus 24, I get 7. Bring down the 0. And then I know that 12 will go into 70 5 times. 12 times 5 gives me 60. So I subtract and I get 10. So 310 over 12 is 25 and 10 twelfths. But I still need to simplify. 10 and 12 are both divisible by 2. So this becomes 25 and 5/6. All right, and I'm going to skip around just for a second. I'm going to come all the way down here to my bottom 2. So it says Alyssa is training to run a half marathon. And each training run, so I'm going to stop right there and write my get strategy. I know each training run that she has her run 7 3/4 miles. If she completes 4.5 training runs this week, that would be my groups. I don't know, how many miles will she have run? So 4 1/2 times 7 3/4. Let's do our Texas two-step. 2 times 4 gives me 8, plus 1 more gives me 9 over 2. 7 times 4 gives me 28, plus 3 more gives me 31 over 4. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that I can cross simplify here. So I need to just go ahead and multiply. I have 9 times 1 would give me 9, and 3 times 9 gives me 27. So it's 279 over 8. Okay, so I'm going to divide 279 divided by 8. 8 goes into 27 3 times. When I subtract, I get 3. Bring down the 9. 8 goes into 39 4 times. That gives me 32. And when I subtract, I get 7. So Alyssa's going to run this week 34 7/8 miles. All right, and for our very last one, I have two problems here. I have 5 times 3/5 and 5 times 5/3. Now, the only difference between these two numbers here is that one of them is a proper fraction, one of them is an improper fraction. So let's multiply and see what we get. So 5 is a whole number. I'm going to put a 1 underneath it. I can actually cross simplify here. 5 and 5 both have the number 5 in common, so they both become 1. So I have 1 times 3 gives me 3. 1 times 1 gives me 1. So I just end up with the number 3. So my answer here that I got 3 is less than 5. And the reason that it's less than 5 is because 3/5 is a proper fraction, meaning that it is less than 1. So anytime I multiply by a fraction, a proper fraction that is smaller than 1, I'm going to get an answer that is smaller than the number that I started with. So if 5/3 is an improper fraction, that means it's bigger than 1. Let's see if I get an answer that's greater than 5. So I have nothing to cross simplify here. 5 times 5 is 25. 1 times 3 is 3. And 3 can go into 25 a total of 8 times with one piece left over. So sure enough, I got an answer that was greater than 5. And the reason is because 5/3, that improper fraction, is greater than 1. So anytime I multiply by a fraction that is greater than 1, I'm going to get an answer that is bigger than the number that I started with.